Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Wendy Scott joining us here again today. Excited to have her on the podcast, let alone Zoomcast, as our professional of the year and as a professional closet designer with so many years of experience. She joins us again here live at Timeless Closets and Cabinetry to talk more about the work she does. And of course, seeing the beautiful work. The last time we spoke, Wendy, was amazing because she gave us a full tour of her own closet. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Sorry about the technical difficulty. I promise I tested my new speaker before.
It's okay. It happens. It happens. But I'm just excited to have you back. You are such a hardworking woman who produces amazing products, amazing results, many accolades, and so on and so forth. And she also is a special guest today, too. So let me have her introduce the both of you.
So, Jill, I'm going to blow your mind with this one. As you know, almost everyone puts safes in their home, in their closet. The higher end closets are doing these really nice luxury safes. And I met Cletus at the closet conference in this last spring, and he started telling us some of the requirements for safes, which were like, are you kidding me? I had no idea. So with that, I'm going to give you to Cletus, who will have a share screen if you could let him have access.
Cletus, you should have shared access. Double check.
All right,
Cletus
it's
Nunes
green.
joining us.
I'm good. I'm going to share. Thank you for the introduction, both of you. I appreciate it. I'm very excited to be here. Thanks again for joining us. Today is interesting. So, the statement, a safe is a safe, right? Well, by the time I'm done with this, I think you'll better understand it, because today I intend to provide some information and ideas that will hopefully carry through with you as you're working with some of your high net worth customers. The topics we're going to go in today are in a certain order, because I want you to understand what some of your customers are facing today, and why does a safe matter, and then how we're going to talk about how to be secure, how to work around what to consider when implementing a safe into the design right from the very beginning, all the way through to the finalizing of your closet or the space that you have to be working on. And it's very important because you all know this, but you can do 100 things right, but you do one thing wrong, and that's all they remember, right? That's all they talk about. And so I hope to leave you with a bunch of information.
Great.
And also, I believe you can click on a link here and get the same presentation that I have here, and of course, contact information if you should have some questions about a design and want to make sure it's done right.
Beautiful. But before we get started, just to confirm the website for Timeless Closets, and it's Casoro Jewelry Safes. Could you just share that as well? I want to get both of your contacts.
Certainly. We'll definitely do that. And it's very easy. It's CasoroJewelrySafes.com. And so very, very easy to find.
Casoro.
That's right. Yep. And the sign right back here, Casoro.
Beautiful.
CasoroJewelrySafes.com. And
great. And Timeless Closets, how do we find you, Miss Wendy?
Timeless Closets and Cabinetry, and that is my name for Instagram, Facebook, and my website, and Wendy at timelesscc.com. And we will have all of this on the recorded version as well.
Great. And Cletus, you're based out of where specifically?
We're in Southern California, Orange County, California. Okay. Our main plant here is in Santa Ana.
Beautiful. So clearly you're worldwide, and I know you're based out of New Jersey, but your clients are worldwide too, Wendy. So, all right, well, let's get started. Where did you want to begin today?
Well, great. So let's start with the basic concept of try not to leave an important matter like safes to your customer when it comes to your design. Right now, we're all facing, I don't know if either of you heard much about what's going on with these tourist burglars, but they're a big problem everywhere. This map happens to come off of a local LA station. So of course it's LA centric, shocking.
Okay.
But these South American gangs are originating from all sorts of different places in South America, and they're hitting high net worth areas across the United States, the UK, other places in Europe, as well as I've heard as far as India and other places too. So it's not just a problem we have, it's a problem that's happening everywhere. And these folks have gotten pretty sophisticated. The way it works is simple. They get 90-day visas coming to the US, which don't require approvals. And they come here very trained. They know who to contact, and they get right to work. They case homes looking for people, certain routines, like you go to dinner every Friday night, or you take a hike every Saturday morning, or a nice long walk. They look for those windows to get in there quickly and get out. So the key to success here is, we like to say, beating the clock. And so that's why a safe is very, very important. There's a lot of content on here, and I'm not going to go into too much of it because it will be available to you as well, and we can send this to anyone who can't seem to access it. But it's a big threat.
I'm going to add really quick, Cletus, I just had this conversation with a client yesterday. Her neighborhood was hit by this exact same
Oh, wow.
burglary. And Jill, this is East Coast. So it's everywhere.
Yep. It's they have it's not hard to determine where the high net worth individuals are. So they've figured it out pretty quickly, and the internet provides them with a lot of opportunity to share nefarious information to get the job done quickly. But if your customer has jewelry, luxury handbags, cash, watches, they're the prime target. So this really does impact the designers quite a bit. This here just happened July 9th. And 3 bold intruders, middle of the day, broke this window that you see up on the screen here. They came in. This poor person had 50 unprotected watches, no safe. They made off with over $5 million worth of watches. So you can imagine the heartache that this person felt when they came home to find this mess in their beautiful closet and see all their beautiful watches gone. So we're really working hard to educate the community about why security matters. A lot of times, safe has been for others to be sort of a last thought, oh, okay, well, this safe is inexpensive. Let me put this one. A safe is a safe, but it's not. And I'm going to explain in great detail here in the next slide what a high security safe looks like and what it means. And the most important thing is look for this UL rating that you see here. This safe is sitting actually right here, right next to me. We took this back from a customer who had this safe attacked. Well, they didn't have it attacked, unfortunately, they didn't ask for it, but 47 minutes, these burglars were in a cash store and worked on this TL15 safe. You can see they cut the hinges off, they were drilling holes in here using crowbars, they tried to saw right through here, right across here. They managed to get through the first layer of steel, but they couldn't get through the aggregate that was inside of here because there's all sorts of bits and chunks of things that chew up different types of blades. So these folks are switching out a diamond blade, then a carbon blade, then all these different blades, and it's just getting chewed up, and they're not getting anywhere. They tried to attack from up here as well. 47 minutes, they didn't get in. That's what security means to our customers. So let's talk about this a little bit. 2 major standards that matter to customers that you're going to be working with: the UL 1037 standard and the UL 687 standard. So the first 1037 is the first level of UL security. And UL security is not somebody's word, right? It's not me saying, hey, Jill, this is a great safe. It's really, really good. I swear by it. This is Underwriter Laboratories, who's been trusted by the insurance industry for a very, very long time to provide guidelines that the underwriters can assess the actual risk that they're insuring. So these are third-party organizations that go in and try and break into these safes. And their first level, RSC1, is 5 minutes of penetration on that safe. That means the clock stops if you have to get another tool or you have to change a drill bit. It's 5 full minutes of attacking that safe. And again, the name of the game here is beating the clock. And so this is obviously, it's better security than no security. But when you get into RSC2, you get more sophisticated because you went from this tool set here, which you could find in an average home, typically in one person, to 2 people, and a tool set that's much more sophisticated. 6-inch crowbars, picks, axes, high impact drills, and such will be used in this test. And it lasted for at least 10 minutes. Again, clock stopping if they got to switch out a blade or a drill bit or something of that nature. And this level is a level that a lot of insurance companies will accept if their client has another safe in the house, usually a TL30, TL15, something of that nature, especially if they travel to another home, for winters or summers and things of that nature, and they can put all their prized belongings inside of that more secure safe. They may allow this to be upstairs. And why? Because as you get more and more security, they get heavier. And this is an important design consideration because most stairs may not handle beyond 1,000 pounds. You'll be hard pressed to find any installer who will take anything up or down the stairs that's over 1,000 pounds. So from our perspective, in the design, we're balancing out a lot of physical aspects, including weight, on what's going to make sense. Now, the next level, which is what the insurance companies really like, is this TL15. It's 15 minutes of penetration, same tool set as I showed you before. And then the TL30, which is taking it again, now 15 minutes more to 30 minutes, and they've added some additional tools. So this TL15 is at that point where it may be difficult to get upstairs, but I'll talk a little bit about that because we've been working on some new safes that will satisfy that need.
Hey,
So,
Cletus, can I
yes.
just ask a question? When you keep referring to the insurance company, so does that mean, let's just say you had a different rating and you were robbed, does that affect being paid back?
That's a great question. It depends entirely on your policy. If the underwriters specified that you had to have a certain type of UL rated safe and you didn't get that and you were robbed, you would probably have trouble collecting.
Wow.
So always important. When you're thinking about the design, your client may not have insurance on their goods, but they may want to at some point. It really depends on the client. Some clients like to self-insure. Others are, want to take out insurance. But either way, whether they're self-insured or with the insurance company, you really want to think carefully about the safe that you're putting in it and make sure they're protected.
So we got some things to consider here, right?
Certainly. Let's talk about space. Doorways, right? They can be a problem when it comes to a safe. So you want to make sure that you're thinking about, the measurements and how you're going to get that in there. I'm not kidding. I have more than several times had to engage a crane to lift a safe up over a house and in through a side because it was the only way we're going to get that in the house. You want to think about the cabinetry, and that's structural reinforcement because, a 42-inch TL15 with 90-minute fire is going to weigh about 980 pounds, and that's important. That's light enough that we can get it upstairs, but beautiful enough and in the right place where people are going to put things away, because that's the important thing that I stress to the insurance company. You make them get a really big, heavy, TL30 safe, and the only place they can put it is next to the furnace because it needs to be in a concrete slab. They're likely to take that beautiful necklace off and put it on the dresser.
Yeah.
And then people get busy, right? We all do. We all forget about it, and there it is, sitting there exposed, just inviting a thief to come in and take it. And so we have to balance design, usability, and the space and many other things that we're working with to make sure that the customers are having a great experience and protecting what they treasure the most. Toe kicks, reinforcement in there, things of this nature are very important. As I mentioned, the 42-inch high safe is very popular, so that fits in a closet very nicely and has the right height for a lot of our customers. So keep that in mind. The flooring, you want to think about, is there radiant heating in the flooring? Is there any piping in the flooring that you want to think about? Because you really want to anchor these things down. We always stress that, and we try and get every customer to make sure the safe is anchored, because that's just one more thing that's going to thwart the thief and the time clock that they're working against. When you think about depth, very important. As you see this diagram here, you've got 21 inches of depth, but you always have to add 2 inches or so for the handle and the keypad. So when you're putting this in, you say, oh, here's my dimensions. Don't cut yourself short on the design by forgetting about the handle and how that's going to look. And if you're going to have a door closing, also your door swing is very important. So now there's many things about a door swing. As you notice in this door swing, you can't get the drawers open. So if you don't have the space, and say there's a wall here to one side of it and you're going to be up against that wall, just let us know. We customize the drawers so that there's an open space to the right-hand side of it, and you can put long things. We have some folks that do that purposely because they have long guns they want to put inside of the safe along with jewelry. If you can get the full swing, great. The drawers, you get more drawer space coming out of that. But you also want to remember which way is the hinging of your cabinet it's going in, because you want the safe door to go one way and the hinge door in the cabinet to go another way to give yourself proper clearance so they don't smash into each other when you're going into the safe. So again, another important consideration when you're thinking about this. And it's a lot of information, so feel free to reach out. We're happy to talk to any designer about what they're doing and providing advice. Power is important as well, because as you can see, behind me here, we got watch winders and lights. That light has gone off, but you can see the light goes right on. Power is very, very important. So you want to have a recessed outlet. That's what I recommend. You want to ideally leave some space so you can get in, plug and unplug your safe should you want to reboot anything or make some changes in the safe or anything of that nature. Maybe you have someone coming out to take a look and you want to add another set of watch winders. We do that sometimes in the field. And so having that ability to plug and unplug before you start fooling around with that stuff is always very, very nice. But if you're really tight for space, make sure you put this recess, same thing you'd use for a refrigerator. And this is going to take you down from 1.5 inches for your cord to about 1/2 inch. So include that in your design when you're thinking about these things. Security redundancy, always very important. We like to have multiple layers with our clients so you can have sensors in the room, things of this nature. We also have a lovely sensor. This is very big. This block of wood just represents the finished wood that you might see on your face of your cabinet. And we have a little device that's really small, and that is probably about maybe 1/4 inch or so. And that is a sensor, and it's going to tell if you've opened the door. We're working on sensors too that tell if the safe is being drilled or being moved or anything of that nature. And you ideally want to have that hardwired into your security system, because these sophisticated thieves that you're seeing right now get these illegal Wi-Fi blockers and Zigbee blockers, and they'll go inside and they'll try and scramble the signals within the house so that alarms are not going off and no one knows what's going on there until they get out. So hardwiring is always ideal, and of course we can help with you on that. We work with a lot of security specialists also in how we combine this into the system. Also, separate zone. That's another important thing as well. So you know this is my safe that's being attacked, and there's no other false signals coming in from, say, another device. And then, of course, lastly, the location. I've talked a bit about this before, right? You want to avoid having to put that safe, someplace that's not convenient. So we like to work with our designers to really understand the layout of the house, size and weight measurements, and also if we do have a constraint of some nature, say, especially you get in New York, you get some of these old buildings and these tight elevators. So sometimes we have to come up with a more creative solution, maybe a lighter RSC1 or RSC2 in one location and then a heavier TL30 in another. So any questions?
Wow, I'm flabbergasted. Okay, Wendy, now you've been in the business of closets for forever. I know you, you work with a lot of customers that do have safes. Tell me how you and Cletus met up, and tell me, I mean, these are amazing safes. So you got to have some good backstories with Cletus, and wow.
A lot of my clients do custom safes like what he's showing, and they're just gorgeous. And just being able to design it correctly, like I wasn't, I'm always thinking about opening the door, but I never made the connection until he said it, that the cabinet has to open left and the door has to swing right. And then, knowing the different ratings so that I could better guide them, what has been eye-opening for me. Where we learned about him was at the Closet Conference. And so that's always been a great eye-opening place, and where we get to see the closet candy.
You can see here in this picture too, they picked a lighter safe. So this safe, even though it's lighter though, you will want to consider reinforcement in the cabinetry here, as you see. And I'm just showing you some of the examples of the things that we try and work with. I'm going to go back to this other slide. You notice right down here, we focused on extra weight support in the toe kick beneath this, and also I believe there's a metal plate under here as well, so that when we bolt it down, that safe is going through metal, wood, and studs or rafters under the floor. So very secure safe from those regards.
Cool.
And then here's another smaller safe, right? And again, this is a perfect example of, you have a mix of jewelry, some things you're not so worried about, and then your very special items in here. And being able to, again, you get the door swings an opposite way and a nice mirror here so you can see how that necklace is sitting as you get ready. So some beautiful things there.
And all customizable.
Absolutely. We have a lot of safes here behind us in the showroom. We have usually keep about 75 plus ready to ship safes for people who are in a hurry. Some people don't want to wait and they say, this design is beautiful. We like it. We're going to take it. But, probably about 70% of what we do is completely bespoke safes designed to the needs of our particular customer.
No, I mean, some people go, look, let's be honest, everyone shops online these days. I mean, and not everyone's going to shop on Amazon for a high-end safe, but some people do. What would put the difference, tell us the difference in the value in, your product, obviously, compared to maybe something else on the market, not to put others down, but
Of
your
course.
guarantee, your warranty, tell me a little bit more about that
Well,
part of Casora.
first of all, having the skill to do beautiful cabinetry and make the watch winders work properly, and especially something like this where we get 24 watch winders, there's a bit of technology and work to go in and make sure that everything is synced up with each other and working properly. But beyond that, coming back to that UL, there's a lot of myths out there. There's a lot of things
Yeah.
that people will say in their advertising. My favorite is better than UL, better than Underwriting Laboratories ratings. Well, there's no proof behind that. No one's measured that. That's just your opinion. And
Yeah.
so people get pulled in by things like that. Oh, another favorite one, right? Ballistic steel. There's
Oh,
another. You go, oh, ballistic steel, and you see a video of someone shooting a
and it
bullet through the
pops
safe,
off.
and you're like, yeah, that's the one. That's the one. That looks great. But the trouble is that some steel is designed for high, fast impact, and other steel is designed to not allow drills and blades to be able to penetrate it, and they're different tensile strengths and different types of steel. So these ones that say ballistic, they look really cool, but they're not going to protect it against the blades. And of course, what thief is going to shoot up a safe first? It kind of ruins the whole point of breaking into the safe if you shoot up all the watches. And so these things, you have to be careful when you look at this, because it sounds interesting, it looks really cool on a video, but trust the UL, because everything that we sell is UL rated, and we focus very much on the security piece of it, as well as the luxury and the customization. And when you bring those together, that's what Casoro is all about, and that's the big differentiator between us and most everybody else in the industry.
Got it. Wow. All right. Well, we are almost out of time, Wendy. Let's let's go through a few more if we can.
Yeah, he's
here.
got the candy.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, if you'd like, I could show you a few safes. We're almost out of time,
Sure, go
but we've
ahead.
got a lot of safes here. I'm happy to take you around and just show you a few things if you'd like.
You've got about 60 seconds though, Cletus. I don't know
60
how
seconds.
fast you can walk.
All right, look at this. Hopefully,
Wow.
am I still showing?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, this is carbon fiber. So very hard to work with. We do all sorts of things. We had one of our customers who ordered a safe like this. He wanted a humidor down the bottom here. So we put a humidor in these drawers, and so he could grab a cigar and put on a watch and get himself dressed. I'm going to come right around here. We don't have much time, but you can see all sorts of different things. Hangers, different types of woods. You always want to make sure you have enough space for your handbags too. If you have a lot of handbags, consider that in your design. It's very important. When you're doing it, you see this one has a lot of space for taller handbags down the bottom. You can even put shoes on it if you want. Smaller handbags up top here. You can see we've got some smaller ones in here, and of course plenty of drawers. And then all the liners custom, right? So whatever you need, right? You need money holders. You want jewelry holders. You want lots of earring space. Let me open this up so I can get the drawers all the way out. As you can see, this is where you got to make sure you get the room, right, to open it up. So, beautiful liners. Anything we got, probably about, I would say, 17 or so different liners. So you can see lots of beautiful things, lots of different sizes. So it's really up to you. And also, this is really important here too. This is our design kit that we give designers, so you can go over wood types and materials that can be used in the safe, work on your design from this, right?
So what comes first, the safe or the closet design?
I would say they work hand in hand. You want to probably think about your safe first. Your
Good.
closet design.
Yeah.
You want us to fit into your design. You don't want to fit around the safe. You want to have the look you're looking for.
All right. Well, thank you both for being here. If you don't mind, we'll stop sharing the screen and remind us at this time, Cletus and Wendy, how we can reach out to you. Thank you so much.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. And again, you can reach out to us at CasoroJewelrySafes.com. As you can see, my name is on there. You can reach out to me as well. Or you can just click on CasoroJewelrySafes.com and talk to any one of the folks here. Everybody is well educated on all these particular design concerns, and we have specialists as well we can make available to you. And thank you so much for having me. It was such a pleasure.
Thank you
so much, Cletus. And Wendy at timelessclosetsandcabinetry.com, Wendy at timelesscc.com. I will have everything with all his links on the newsletter.